coming up on Star City News.
Those involved were familiar with each other.
A fatal shooting in Lincoln leaves a father of 5 dead, and the gunman is still at large.
We have got to do our part to protect our children and our neighbors.
Lincoln City Council takes action to ban a gun accessory that was used in last fall's Las Vegas shooting rampage.
And the Husker football team gets down to business. Spring practice begins with the new high-profile coach.
These stories and more right now on Star City News.
Live from the College of Journalism and Mass Communications, Star City News starts now.
Hello and welcome to Star City News. I'm Matt Reynoldson.
And I'm Katrina Spurl. Lincoln police are still investigating the shooting death of a young father of 5. Star City News' Marjani Knighton has more.
An autopsy has been ordered by investigators to gain more information on the shooting. Also, this is seen as the city's first homicide of this year. 22-year-old Edgar Union Jr. was shot and killed in the Lincoln's College View neighborhood near South 47th Street and Cooper Avenue. When police arrived to the scene, they found Union dead in front of the home.
Throughout the night, the Lincoln Police Department's Criminal Investigation Unit and crime scene investigators were processing the scene, conducting interviews, and following up on leads that were obtained during the course of these investigative protocols.
Police believe the people involved and Union had a relationship prior to the incident, but are not sure if it was gang-related.
The investigation has revealed that those involved were familiar with each other, and there does not appear to be an ongoing threat to the public at large.
LPD stresses the importance of the public's help during this investigation.
We need the assistance of the public and those that may have witnessed this particular incident or any of the events that precipitated it to call us and provide additional details to our investigative units.
Tonight, police have no one in custody, but they have an idea of who they'll be talking to. I'm Marjani Knighton reporting.
Thank you, Marjani. The Lincoln City Council voted Monday to ban bump stocks. The rapid-fire devices were used in last year's Las Vegas massacre. The decision puts Lincoln in a unique position among a handful of states and cities that ban selling and possessing the gun accessories. The following video shows City Councilwoman Larry Ann Gaylor Baird emphasizing how impactful this bill is.
When I was 19, I lost someone I loved to gun violence. And in my life since then, I have worked in after-school programs trying to help kids on a path to college from a young age. I've tutored young students from low-income communities. I can't agree more that this is a complicated issue, reducing gun violence.
The ban will begin on May 1st, giving Lincoln residents a month to get rid of the devices.
A grand jury will investigate the death of a Lincoln psychiatrist found in his home this weekend following a standoff with a police SWAT team. 62-year-old Dr. Subramaniam Rajagopal died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound late Saturday, according to a Lincoln police report. Officers shut down Nebraska 2 from 33rd to 48th Streets, along with neighboring streets for several hours while they tried to negotiate with Rajagopal. By law, a grand jury has to investigate the death because it occurred while police were trying to apprehend him.
On Monday, state lawmakers advanced a bill that would exempt Nebraska public power from open records requests. The bill would stop the public power districts from open record requests when the information could be used to hurt their competition. Senator Tom Brewer of Gordon says he is concerned the bill would lead to less transparency within a public agency.
The ACLU of Nebraska has filed another suit challenging the death penalty. The suit against the Department of Correctional Services challenges that the state's execution protocol was developed without following state law and procedures. The lawsuit filed by Omaha Senator Ernie Chambers and social justice advocate Reverend Stephen Griffith seeks to stop the department from carrying out executions or taking further steps until it has properly processed another regulation that complies with state and federal laws.
We have Dylan Steinkruger here with us to give us a weather sneak peek. Dylan?
Yeah, well, after a couple of cool days over the past few weeks, we've actually warmed up a little bit today, and it's felt pretty nice if you've been outside at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that warm temperature is going to stick around for too long. I'll have all that coming up in just a bit, in addition to a little bit of a forecast for what's coming up for our Easter weekend with a chance for some snow maybe in the forecast. All that coming up in just a bit.
Coming up next on Star City News, we tell you how high Nebraska ranks in medicine.
We'll also tell you about where North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is rumored to be heading. That and more coming up next on Star City News.
Ever have trouble traversing the busy streets and sidewalks of Lincoln? The University of Nebraska contracts with StarTrain to prevent those transportation headaches. The East, City, and Innovation campuses are all connected through routes that run Monday through Friday during the fall and spring semesters. While low prices are available for all passengers, students, faculty, and staff receive additional deals. All students actually receive an annual bus pass through their student fees. Cut traffic out of your day and experience these convenient services.
Searching for a college can be challenging. There's so many things to look for. Dorms, campus involvement, classes, and facilities all play a factor. So why not take a campus visit? At UNL, you can sign up for a campus visit Monday through Friday in the morning or the afternoon. All visits include a welcome session, walking campus tour, and an academic appointment with a specific major. We aim to provide the ultimate student experience with every visit, so sign up for your campus visit today.
We'll see you soon!
Visit admissions.unl.edu for information on how to sign up.
Get your ice cream fix today from the UNL Dairy Store. The UNL Dairy Store features a great variety of flavors and options and has offered their delicious treats with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln since 1917. The store also features special happy hour prices Monday through Friday. Stop in at the UNL Dairy Store today and enjoy some delicious handmade ice cream. You owe it to yourself.
For a touch of the outdoors, come on down to the UNL Outdoor Adventure Center and Bike Shop. Come enjoy a climb on our fun indoor rock wall. Visit the bike shop for bike rentals and repairs. On top of that, the Outdoor Adventure Center also offers many other outdoor activities and trips throughout the year, such as camping, hiking, and canoeing. The Outdoor Adventure Center is located on the beautiful UNL campus with friendly and knowledgeable staff who are ready to help. For more information, go to the Outdoor Adventure Center website or call them at 402-472-4777.
Welcome back to Star City News. Well, it's the largest ever expulsion of Russian officials from the United States. On Monday, President Trump joined a coordinated effort by at least 23 countries to retaliate the poisoning of a former Russian spy in Britain.
This is the largest collective expulsion of Russian intelligence officers in history.
Hundreds of Russian diplomats around the world are packing their bags and going home. The countries expelling them, including the United States, point to this attack as the main reason. A former Russian spy and his daughter were poisoned with a military-grade nerve agent in Salisbury, England on March 4th. UK Prime Minister Theresa May says she finds great solidarity in the EU, North America, and NATO.
We will not tolerate Russia's continued attempts to flout international law and undermine our values.
The United States ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, says 12 of the Russian diplomats expelled from the U.S. have engaged in espionage activities. President Trump also ordered 48 other Russian intelligence officers expelled and the Russian consulate in Seattle closed. Officials said the closure of the Seattle consulate is because of its proximity to a submarine base and Boeing.
Today's actions make the United States safer by reducing Russia's ability to spy on Americans and to conduct covert operations.
With National Doctors Day coming up on March 30th, the personal finance website Wallet Hub released its report on 2018's best and worst states for doctors. Here are the top 5 best states to practice medicine. Number 1 is South Dakota. Our very own Nebraska comes in at number 2, following Idaho, Iowa, and Minnesota. The data set ranges from average annual wage of physicians to hospitals per capita to quality of public hospital system.
A former Michigan State dean has been charged in relation to the sexual abuse scandal involving Dr. Larry Nassar. Authorities charged medical school official William Strample from failing to keep the former sports doctor Larry Nassar in line and accused him of groping female students and keeping nude pictures of students on his campus computer. The investigation started in January, looking at how Michigan State handled complaints against Nassar, who sexually abused young girls and women, especially gymnasts, for years.
A water park co-owner has been arrested in connection with the 2016 death of 10-year-old Caleb Schwab at the Schlitterbahn Water Park in Kansas City, Kansas. Jeffrey Henry's arrest follows the Friday indictment of Tyler Austin Miles, the park's director of operations, and the water park itself. The indictment says the park knew about the issues with the ride, including design failures and maintenance issues. They were also aware of other injuries sustained by riders prior to Schwab's death.
There have been reports that Kim Jong-un has left the country of North Korea to travel to Beijing. Although there is yet to be any confirmation, all signs lead to it being the North Korean leader.
It's an intriguing story straight out of the pages of a spy novel. An armoured train arrives from North Korea into China's capital. Individuals or an individual unknown at this stage emerges in a blanket of security and is taken to the very seat of power for high-level meetings with Chinese leaders. Now, if Kim is in Beijing, it will be the first time that he has travelled outside North Korea since he assumed the leadership of North Korea back in 2011. Now, why is he here? Well, there's again a lot of speculation about why Kim would be visiting, but as one analyst said to me, he needs to restore relations with China. He needs China's support in the upcoming critical talks between Kim Jong-un and President Trump, not to mention the inter-Korean talks. And China wants to be part of that process. It wants to be on the top table with any of these negotiations.
Soaring drug costs are making it difficult for some people to get the medications they need. Now, a congressional report says the strain is especially hard on elderly Americans. Mary Maloney explains in today's Health Minute.
Prescription drug prices are rising at nearly 10 times the rate of inflation. That's according to a new congressional report, which examined the costs of the 20 most prescribed medications for seniors over the past 5 years. The highest spike, a chest pain reliever, soaring 477%. By law, Medicare is not allowed to directly negotiate drug prices. Critics say this leads to tens of billions of dollars in unnecessary government spending. But supporters fear government intervention in the free market. An industry group called the Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America sharply criticized the report, calling it misleading. However, they did agree more can be done to help seniors. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Coming up in Star City sports, Scott Frost talked in the second media availability of the spring. Omaha had a terrific regional final between two blue bloods. Husker baseball and softball are in action tonight, and the gymnastics team looks to make a run at the NCAA regionals. That and more coming up later in Star City sports.
The Cat House is a local no-kill cat shelter and adoption center where volunteers pledge to care for and provide a loving home to hundreds of cats every day. The cats are housed in spacious rooms where visitors can interact and play with the cats. Donating to the Cat House provides medical care and helps find these cats a forever home. Located on the corner of 37th and O Street, visit the Cat House today to donate or adopt.
The Nebraska Repertory Theater creates innovative theatrical experiences to ignite the imagination, challenge the heart, promote an inclusive community, and inspire the next generation of theater artists. Shows include the 2004 Tony Award-winning musical Avenue Q, a showcase of future rep actors, directors, and designers. Join us for the first annual Reps Rising Stars. And finally, an adaptation of William Golding's classic novel, The Lord of the Flies. For more information and tickets to upcoming shows, visit www.nebraskarep.org.
People are tired of listening to the same old sports shows. We'll be tired no longer and tune into the second string on KRNU2. Join hosts Alex Fernando.
Listen, the Big Ten will not have a team in the playoffs.
And Nate Mielbach.
Don't know why we're discussing this. The Warriors are the best basketball team of all time.
As we bring you all the info and news from around the sporting world. So tune into the second string, Mondays at 7, only on KRNU2.
Huskers Helping Huskers Pantry Plus is an on-campus pantry at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, offered to students in need. This is a resource for students who struggle with food or shelter insecurity, providing food, hygiene, and school supplies. Located on the third level of the Student Union, all you need to access the pantry is your student in card. Want more information on donations or using the pantry? Please visit our website or come on up and see us.
after we had a beautiful start to our March, we've actually cooled down over the past couple weeks pretty significantly, and temperatures have certainly not been present. Had a few drizzly days over the past few days. At least for now, though, we've recovered a little bit here in Lincoln. 53 degrees right now here in the capital city. A few clouds that are lingering in the area. Those are going to push out as we move throughout the rest of the evening. Winds are out of the north right now at about 5 to 10 miles an hour, and that has been bringing in some cold Canadian air. That will change as we head into tonight, though. But at least for this time of year, we are pretty seasonable. 56 degrees are high. 57 is what typically occurs here on your March 27th. So really, as cool as it may seem outside, it feels pretty typical for what we'd see for this time of March. So pretty hard to complain. It could certainly be a lot worse. That 6 degrees that they set back in 1913 would be frigid. Now, as we look across the state, that story of decent temperatures, pretty typical seasonal temperatures, is playing out across much of it. Pretty warm up now, 58 in Valentine, but really pretty similar as you head back even in toward the eastern portion of the state. You can see, like we said, 53 in Lincoln right now, 49 in Hastings, actually the coolest in the south central portion of Nebraska right now. So overall, not too bad. Now, as we take a look at our satellite map across the country, you can see this system that is actually pushed all the way out to the ocean right now. That was what brought us some of the precipitation we've been seeing over the past couple days. And then as you look back towards home, not a whole lot going on, at least over Nebraska. A little bit of cloud cover just in association with some of the storms that are getting kicked off right now down in Oklahoma and Texas. Now, you notice these little dots here on this satellite map. That's actually in association with lightning data, new GOES 16 lightning data. We mentioned it was Severe Weather Awareness Week. Now, that data down there is helping forecasters in the National Weather Service predict warnings and predict storms. So certainly, as we head into our severe weather season, it is going to be critical and very helpful to those forecasters in actually giving warnings. So certainly not a whole lot of that going on right now. And as we look toward tonight, not any severe weather in the forecast, certainly. But certainly as we head into May and June, that will be a big factor. Now, as we do head into tonight, 29 degrees, we're going to cool down pretty significantly from what we're seeing, especially as some of this cloud cover begins to get kicked out of the area. Those winds will begin to shift toward the south into the north-northeast and then slowly shift to the east into the south. That's going to kick in some warmer temperatures, hopefully, as we head into tomorrow, but it isn't going to help much because as we do head into tomorrow, we are going to see the passage of a cold front, and we see this here. Its temperatures will start and they'll slowly warm up throughout the day, but then about 3 p.m. we're going to start to see some cloud cover in association with the cold front. That will be moving out of the Dakotas. That is where it's at right now, kicking off at least a little bit of precipitation. Probably not a whole lot, but certainly enough to wet your windshield as you're heading home from work. And certainly won't be a big factor, but certainly something to keep in mind if you have any evening plans tomorrow. It is going to be cool, and it could certainly be drizzly. Now, as we look past into our Thursday and Friday into the rest of our work week, we see that cold air and associated with that cold front will bring down temperatures. Those winds will kick out to the north at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's going to bring in that colder air behind that behind that cold front. The good news is that as we head into Friday, we will see a little bit of a rebound back into the lower 60s, hopefully. If we can keep some of this cloud cover on the backside of this cold front out of the way, hopefully get some warmer temperatures at the surface, we should be able to rebound pretty nicely as we head into that later portion of our week. Now, as we head into the rest of our weekend, Easter weekend, in fact, we see once again the chance for another round of potential snowstorms. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on this, but certainly we get another frontal passage moving through on Saturday. That's going to give us kind of a shot for certainly some cooler temperatures, but also the chance Saturday night into Sunday morning, the chance for some precipitation. So not sure if it's going to be rain or snow or freezing rain, but certainly something to keep in mind if you have plans on Sunday for Easter.
Could be a wet and snowy Easter egg hunt on Sunday morning.
It certainly could be. You might be digging for some Easter eggs under some snow. I don't think it'll be that much, but certainly will be wintry, to say the least.
All right. Well, I hope it's warmer.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so.
All right. Well, coming up next on Star City Sports, Scott Frost spoke to the media this morning, just under 4 weeks until the highly anticipated spring game.
And our sports anchor Parker Siza previews the Husker baseball and softball games tonight, plus a look back at the March Madness Regional Final in Omaha last weekend. That and more coming up next on Star City News.
For over 28 years, the Lincoln Children's Museum has been creating playtime for thousands of kids and their families. Children can create, discover, and learn through the power of play. The Lincoln Children's Museum also offers several programs and camps throughout the year. Located in the heart of downtown on P Street. Come have fun at the Lincoln Children's Museum.
Established in 1978, KZUM has been the voice of the Lincoln community for more than 40 years.
From humble 10-watt beginnings to streaming worldwide, this nonprofit radio station provides talk, news, and music programming of all genres.
KZUM has over 90 volunteer programmers, giving a voice to the Lincoln community.
To learn how you can program your own show, visit kzum.org.
Like us on Facebook to keep up with the upcoming events of many kinds.
Located at Henslick Hall is UNL's Pixel Lab. At the Pixel Lab, UNL students and faculty can take advantage of professional-grade print services. For major projects, normal printers simply will not do. They lack the sizes, materials, and resources the Pixel Lab can provide. Simply save your project as a PDF and head over to Henslick Hall. You're important, and so is your work. Open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 5 o'clock, the Pixel Lab team is staffed with helpful employees ready to assist you. For your next project, be sure to stop by the Pixel Lab.
Thousands of Nebraskans face homelessness every year. The most requested items at homeless shelters are socks. But a group of Lincoln skateboarders are working to change that. Skate for Change is a program dedicated to taking action by combining skateboarding and outreach. Through Skate for Change, young skaters have the opportunity to give back to their community. Whether it's cleaning parks or delivering socks and hygiene kits to the homeless, Skate for Change is here to empower individuals to become positive influences. Join the cause at skateforchange.org.
Hello and welcome to Star City Sports. I'm Parker Siza. The Husker football team took the practice field after a 10-day layoff for spring break. Today's practice in helmet and shorts was about 2.5 hours. Coach Scott Frost spoke to the media afterwards about the workout and where the guys are on the evaluation chart.
Day 2 was good. I don't think it was quite as good as the first day. A little sloppier. Sometimes you kind of expect that after spring break, but that's not the standard we want to hold ourselves to. You know, everybody's kind of learning, finding their way, getting used to the pace and the tempo. Guys are making really good plays, but it's kind of hard to pick guys out yet. We'll start doing a little more of that evaluation as spring goes on.
The team will next practice Thursday, and we're just a little over 3 weeks until the anticipated red-white spring game, April 21st. The Midwest region of the NCAA basketball tournament wrapped up in Omaha, and the turnout numbers are outstanding. Omaha got really lucky with 3 historic powers, Duke, Kansas, and Syracuse, along with ACC power Clemson. Over the 3 games held at the CenturyLink Center, the Omaha World Herald reported 34,978 fans in attendance and a 99.6% capacity. That's the highest percentage of the 4 other regional sites, the other 3 being Los Angeles, Boston, and Atlanta. Perhaps the game of the tournament was in Omaha on Sunday with Kansas and Duke, a combined 8 national titles and 45 combined Elite Eights between these 2 teams, and the game drew an average 12 million viewers. Kansas ended up taking the game 85-81 thanks to this 3-pointer by Svi Mikhailu to send it to overtime, where Kansas then took over. The Jayhawks go to the Final Four to join Villanova, Michigan, and Loyola Chicago. Staying on the basketball topic to Nebraska, where it was rumored athletic director Bill Moose would move on from current head coach Tim Miles, namely looking at former Creighton coach and current Oregon coach Dana Altman. Moose denied those rumors this weekend, then earlier today confirmed Miles would be back for his 7th season. Miles led the Huskers to 22 wins this season, the 2nd best in program history, along with a 4th place finish in the Big Ten. Back to the gridiron, where one former Husker football star is heading to the City of Angels. Defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, who played for the Huskers from 2006 to 2009, signed with the Los Angeles Rams. Suh joins quite the company in L.A. with reigning Defensive Player of the Year Aaron Donald and legendary defensive coordinator Wade Phillips. This will be Suh's 3rd team in the NFL after playing in Detroit and most recently Miami. He signed a 1-year deal with the Rams for $14 million. To the baseball diamond, where the Nebraska Cornhuskers are on the road tonight to its Interstate 80 rival Creighton, looking to avenge the struggle last weekend. The Huskers dropped 2 out of 3 games at Haymarket Park against the Minnesota Gophers Friday through Sunday. Nebraska lost Friday 5-1, won Saturday 8-2, and then lost Sunday's finale 2-0. The shining light for the Huskers tonight is they are 9-1 in games coming off a loss this season. Tonight's contest at TD Ameritrade Park begins at 6:30. And the Husker softball team is in action tonight against South Dakota. Nebraska is coming off a 2-1 series win over Michigan State last weekend. The first 2 games 9-6 and a 12-6 victory on Saturday, but losing the final game on Sunday 1-9. The Huskers now stand with a 23-10 record on the season. The first pitch against South Dakota at Bowling Stadium begins this evening at 5 p.m. The 11th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers women's gymnastics team is on its way to the NCAA Regionals. Nebraska had a 196.815 qualifying score and will face second-ranked LSU, 14th-ranked Oregon State, George Washington University, NC State, and fellow Big Ten member Maryland. The top 2 teams from the regional will advance to the NCAA championships later in April. The Raleigh Regional begins next Saturday, April 7th. Now on to our play of the day in the McDonald's High School dunk contest. Zion Williamson, 17 years old, a Duke commit, won the dunk contest with these ferocious slams. You see the athleticism, and again, he's 17 years old. I couldn't do this when I was 17 years old. Pretty impressive stuff from Williamson.
Judges recognize that. We talk about Mike putting your head in the rim. He's looking.
Thanks, Parker. It looks like Duke's getting a special crop of players next year. Coming up next on Star City News, we'll show you one high school student who had a special prom date. That's coming up next on Star City News.
Explore Morrill Hall, located on the UNL campus.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Visit the Education Abroad office or go online to find out more information. Education Abroad. Go big, go abroad.
Welcome back to Star City News. With prom season upon us, it's the time of year when everyone is scattering for dates. Unfortunately, for some couples, plans fall through. But for one lucky lady, she had a replacement to step in the line of duty.
High school prom is a tradition no teenager should miss. So when Skylar Fontaine of New Orleans learned her Marine boyfriend Gage would not be able to come home for the event, she was crushed. But thankfully, heroes come in all sizes. Gabe's 2-year-old brother, Clay Jr., stepped up and filled in as Skylar's date. Skylar was even able to find a tiny Marine uniform for Clay Jr. to wear. The pair didn't actually go to the dance, but instead posed for pics, which have since gone viral. Skylar told People.com the adorable gesture gave her a sense that Gabe was home.
Adorable is right.
Yeah, I wish my prom date had that sort of class. The little Marine, certainly a stand-up guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that is all we have time for you today on Star City News. I'm Katrina Spurl.
And I'm Matt Reynolds. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.